Let me show you mine.
I think we can all agree that Magik, or Illyana Rasputin, and her brother Colossus, Pyotr Rasputin, make a pretty awesome duo. It looks like there's finally some buzz about how they might show up in the MCU's future X-Men stories. From the sound of it, they could pop up in some of the biggest upcoming movies like Doomsday and Secret Wars. First off, a lot of people might not realize that this brother-sister team, Colossus and Magik, already exists outside the main MCU timeline, known as Earth 616. Because when you look at the films, you'll see Colossus has actually popped up quite a bit. Donald McKinnon made a quick cameo as Colossus in the first X-Men movie, but then Daniel Cudmore really took over in X2, X-Men The Last Stand, and Days of Future Past. After that, Stefan Kapachik lent his voice and some motion capture to a totally separate version of Colossus in Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and most recently in the MCU-linked Deadpool and Wolverine. And it's not just Colossus who's had some screen time. Anya Taylor-Joy stepped into the role of Illyana Rasputina, or Magik, in the 2020 film The New Mutants. That means we've technically already seen both of these characters in live action, even though they haven't shown up together in the mainline MCU stories. Now, diving into the comic side of things, Magik, whose full name is Illyana Nikolaievna Rasputina, is a pretty fascinating character. She was created by writer Len Wein and artist David Cockrum, first appearing back in Giant Size X-Men #1 from May 1975. She's a mutant, which basically means she's part of a fictional subspecies of humans born with superhuman powers. But that's not all. Because of some run-ins with the demon Belasco, she also ended up with serious magical abilities. Illyana is actually the younger sister of Pyotr Rasputin, better known as Colossus, and she's also related to Mikhail Rasputin, who's more of an adversary to the X-Men. Her life took a dark turn when she was kidnapped and trapped in Limbo, a hellish dimension, where she not only survived but became a powerful sorceress and eventually ruled the place. It was there that her mutant power first kicked in. She discovered she could teleport by creating stepping discs that let her travel through Limbo's mystical pathways. After finally escaping that nightmare, Illyana joined the New Mutants and later even became a member of the X-Men themselves. It's pretty cool that in 2024, Marvel decided to launch an ongoing comic series all about Magik, written by Ashley Allen with art by Germán Peralta, which shows just how much fans are still into her story. As for Colossus, or Pyotr Peter Nikolaevich Rasputin, he was created by the same team, Len Wein and Dave Cockrum, and also made his debut in that very same Giant-Size X-Men #1. He's a Russian mutant who can transform his body into organic steel, turning into one of the physically strongest X-Men out there. Even though he has all that brute power, he's usually portrayed as a quiet, honest, and almost gentle giant who'd much rather be painting than fighting. But he feels a deep sense of responsibility to use his strength for the good of both humans and mutants, so he doesn't shy away from battle when he has to step up. Because of his consistent presence in X-Men stories over the years, Colossus has gotten quite a bit of recognition. Wizard magazine once ranked him at 184 on their list of the top 200 comic book characters of all time. In 2006, IGN even put him in the 10th spot of their top 25 X-Men list. And in 2013, Comics Alliance ranked him number 22 on their 50 sexiest male characters in comics, which says a bunch about how beloved and apparently crush-worthy he is. So although these two have mostly existed outside the main MCU so far, it's pretty exciting to think about when we might finally see them brought in properly, because together they're one of Marvel's most interesting and powerful sibling duos. And because of that, now there's been a bunch of chatter online lately, with rumors floating around that Anya Taylor-Joy might show up again as Illyana Rasputina in some grand-scale MCU event, like an Avengers Doomsday type of movie. The cool part is people are speculating she could be fighting right alongside her brother Colossus and the rest of the X-Men, maybe even going up against Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom if that rumor pans out. It's kind of wild to imagine because it would bring so many threads from both comics and past movies together in a huge showdown. And honestly, it wouldn't be that far-fetched when you look at how their stories have tangled with Doctor Doom before. In the comics, Magik and Colossus have already faced off against Doom in some pretty intense arcs. One of the most interesting has to be from Excalibur number 39, where Doom decides to invade Limbo itself. Because Limbo isn't just some random hell dimension, it's deeply tied to Illyana's powers and identity. Doom was after a mystical metal called Promethium, and he went so far as to stab the very heart of Limbo with the Soul Sword, wounding the realm's core magic. That act was a direct threat to everything magic ruled over, but it didn't all go Doom's way. The demon Darkoth eventually stepped in, patched Limbo's wounds, and banished the Promethium so Doom couldn't come back and plunder the place again. Meanwhile, other demons like Sim tried to grab power in the chaos that Doom left behind. Even though Illyana had already suffered so much by becoming Limbo's sorceress queen, she stepped up again, reclaiming her control and making sure the realm stayed protected from anyone else trying to mess with it. Colossus was right there in the thick of it too. Although he didn't personally land punches on Doom, he was fighting through all the demonic upheaval caused by Doom's meddling. He was basically his sister's rock, standing by her side, smashing through hordes of demons, and helping her secure her throne once more. It's just another example of how Piotr will always put himself on the line for Illyana, even if the fight is more about magic and less about raw muscle. Then there's Secret Wars Inferno, which pushes their sibling bond into even darker territory. This story is set on a patch of Battleworld, where the original Inferno event never ended. So the demons of Limbo have completely overrun Manhattan, and Magik has fully embraced her monstrous Dark Child side. For years, Colossus has been trying to rescue her, throwing himself into hopeless fights against overwhelming demonic forces. It's heartbreaking because you can tell nothing matters more to him than bringing his sister back, even though each attempt tears him up inside a bit more. In the climax of that series, Colossus, along with Nightcrawler, Domino, and Boom Boom, finally confronts Magik in a twisted showdown deep underground. It's brutal. Magik uses all her dark powers to toy with him. Domino unloads bullets that barely slow her down, and Colossus has to face the horror of striking at his own sister. When he finally uses the Soul Sword to cut down the demon Illyana has become, it's a victory that feels like a tragedy. They escape with their lives, but you can see the emotional scars run deep. It's that classic Marvel blend of love, sacrifice, and painful choices that makes their stories hit so hard. So when people talk about the possibility of seeing Anya's Magik and a new Colossus fight Doctor Doom in a big MCU crossover, it actually lines up pretty nicely with the kinds of battles they've already faced in the comics. Because it's never just a flashy fight with them. It's always wrapped up in family, guilt, and trying to save someone you love from darkness, whether that darkness is literal demons or a power-hungry Doom. If Marvel ever brings that to life on the big screen, it'll be one of those spectacles packed with real emotional weight. And that's exactly what makes the idea so exciting. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.